right, we are way back in the woods and we are almost to Tract 34. The sun's getting a little lower in the sky, but I did want to get this video. Interactive map says we're just now pulling onto the property. Super private tract. It's way toward the east side here. Obviously, any of these tracks, you need a four-wheel drive truck or SUV. And, okay. I wish we had time to walk the whole property because this looks like a really cool one. So we're on the west side. The trail or whatnot is going to kind of curve to the left and keep going down. It goes basically all the way to the east side and meets up with another trail. And we may just drive that whole way and have a look. As we look off to the right, the land is on the left and the right. The topo map shows probably where we are, more level land on the right now. Oh yeah, there's some pretty stuff over there. Good tree cover on both sides. But I noticed the land on the left looks like it slopes down after maybe about 50 feet. But over here on the right, okay, as the road starts to curve left, I mean, you can look back in, looks like over 100 feet, and you've got still ground that would be level enough to be usable for a hunting site or campsite. Most of these tracks, the way they lay, there's just not much for flat ground. I mean, that's pretty typical of the Ozarks. But this one kind of looks like you would have some areas beyond the setback where you could have some privacy and still have enough level area to have a very usable campsite or potentially a building site for a little cabin if you wanted to. This is the other side of the road, north side of the road. And you can look, again, as I said, you can look at the listing page to see different maps and whatnot. This one has some notes that it was originally slated to be sold as 3 tracts. So 34A, B, and C, just depending on the roadway. So A was probably on the northeast side of the road, etc., etc. And they decided in the end, rather than do that, to just essentially combine them into one tract, and then someone gets all 3 tracts. I'm in favor of that for sure, always, basically, because it's great to have, if you have the opportunity to have something on both sides of the road, I think that's great. I know that there's times in my life where I would have done anything to have, to own the land on the other side of the road where I lived. Especially if you ever got into a situation with a neighbor across the road that you maybe didn't see eye to eye on with certain stuff. I'm not in that situation now, luckily. But still, it's generally a good thing to be able to own both sides. So we're still going down, down, down. And I can see the other road that we're about to meet up with, the other trail. There's some cool valleys on this property. There might be some neat rock formations or caves or springs. We really haven't explored any of the property. I mean, what you're seeing now is what we've seen. Okay, so we come down here at the base of the hill, and there's essentially a T in the road. You can go right, or you can go left. You really can't go straight very far. The property continues straight for a little while. I don't know which way we'll go. If we go right, we'll be off the property fairly shortly. If we go left, then we'll actually be going up a hill. We'll probably just pull over here and park. We might hop out and have a look here. So yeah, we're toward the east side where the trail system meets up. You'll see that on the topo map pretty easily if you take a look. Normally we would shut the truck off right about now, but we're charging up some batteries in there, so gotta leave it running, but it shouldn't be too loud. I don't think it'll destroy our video. So here's a section where the valley on the property kind of crosses over the easement trail. So be aware of that when you're coming through. And then it looks like it feeds down into what we would call a larger creek bed or a main creek bed on the property. It's obviously going to be a wet weather creek bed, but it looks like it's had water in it recently. Beautiful mixture of timber on this tract. I'd really like to see that. Oh, there's some water in the creek actually. Well, let's go have a look. Oh, that's pretty. So as we mentioned, this is definitely a wet weather creek bed, but this is pretty nice little creek. Oops, we got some spider webs, so I've got my web stick going in front of us. Little frogs jumping in the water there. That's, you know what, that's got some flow to it. You can see that up there. That's not just a puddle. Where's that coming from? This is so pretty. That water is really clear. Well, it's coming from somewhere. The creek is right now it's dry up to right there. And then the water is coming in. It might be coming in at the base of these trees because it's actually got some current where something is feeding it. So I don't know that I wouldn't be comfortable calling that a spring, but there is some kind of source feeding that. And really most of the little creeks in the Ozarks are spring-fed creeks. And I would think that that's what this is. I'd like to look at a little more of this creek. That is so pretty. Oh, it gets even cooler. Look at this huge flat rock. That is an ancient creek bed. This would be a great place to look for some cool fossils or maybe even some arrowheads. Let's see if we can get over to this other side. Oh. Oh wow, look at this. So this is a spot where two little creek beds come together. We've got the one that we just came down. And then this other one, it's not flowing right now, but you can see it has been recently. And then they meet up right here. and it continues on. But here's a good example of what we were just talking about. How sometimes there'll be dry sections and sometimes not. I mean, that's clearly got some movement to it, the water does. Coming down there, coming down there, feeding this big area. Huge flat rock here, which is cool. And then it's gone. Fresh deer prints all over the place. So in this instance, it seems pretty clear that it's probably running just beneath this gravel. There's some kind of layer of shelf rock or flat rock where that water's running. And there'll be some point up here where it pops out again. Well, that's gorgeous. I'm glad we took a look at that. Oh, this is very peaceful down here. If it wasn't so late in the day, I think I'd just hang out down here and have lunch. Eat a little sandwich at the creek bed. There are people who are so good at photographing this type of stuff, but no one's ever taught us any tricks on that. Really pretty. Well, that gives you a look at a little bit of this property. It's a large tract. There's certain to be more surprises, but this was a pretty nice one. Check out the website to see the drone video as well. I would doubt that on the drone video we saw the creek. Little creeks are so hard to see from the air. Really the only time we've had any luck is in the winter time when the leaves are off the trees. And then sometimes you can see the glint of the water. But this one, even from just over it, it would be tough to see with the drone. So I'm glad that we kind of stumbled upon it, almost literally. If you have any questions, just let us know.